Hi guys, hello, good morning. So as you can see, I'm here, I made it out of the woods. And one way or another, even though we are all in the woods, very dark woods, we will all make it out, people. We will make it out. But you know, as I've been saying in previous videos, we won't make it out by pretending that we're not in the woods. Right, that's how we keep stuck in the woods, obviously. Whatever. Now, somebody said to me the other day, why do you make so many videos? And I'm thinking, good question. I make a video, I do a video, when I get told, I suppose, there's a guiding principle, a guiding force, I call this the Great Mother. It inspires me, and I write things down, and it tells me do a video. It's not about left brain way of the left brain way of thinking, doing or being, which is black and white, which is, well, you can't do a video every day, you can only do one once a week, or where it's all prescribed that it has to be a certain way, just like in a system, right, where everything is, this is how it must be, and it's all square and it all has to fit. The left brain way of living now, well, it has to be annihilated. It has to die. It has to be annihilated, and it has to die, people, because it is entirely unnatural. Hence, when I feel a strong inspiration to do a video, I will do a video. I also know this will be my last one now for a while, to allow people to, obviously, to catch up. Right? So that's fine. But you know, when things have got to be said, things have got to be said. I've already had my coffee. This is my tea now. One of many. You know, just this world. Yesterday it came to me that, we often enough talk about this realm, living in this world, as if we're stuck in an insane asylum. But yesterday I thought about that, and I thought, well, no, because in an insane asylum you have wardens, don't you, that keep the people nicely medicated on Thorazine and fuck knows what else, and when people really kick off, they're chucked in a padded cell and whatnot. But here, the most insane amongst us are the ones running the show. That would not be the same as an insane asylum. Well, it sort of would, I suppose, but you know what I'm saying. See, this is the thing, people. This is a hard one to really come to terms with and to really understand and to really get. Is that this world is completely insane, but we, for the most part, for as long as we've been alive, until we began to wake up, and even then we didn't fully realise this, we think it's normal. It is our normal. We don't realise, we don't understand how utterly and truly, unspeakably insane this world is. It was designed and created by beings that are completely insane. Evil is insanity. Evil gnaws at itself, because you see, in a system that feeds, everything feeds of everything, there is a black, ravenous hunger, gimme, which can only come from the belief that it has nothing and it needs to feed. I am nothing, I have nothing, and nothing will, I'm not okay here, I need to feed. See, it's based on a misunderstanding. That came to me as well. That all it ever wanted was to be loved. That all it ever wanted was to be loved and to be saved and to be infinitely loved and to be infinitely creative. The fall was a disconnect, a misunderstanding, you know. It's an oversimplification of what has happened here, because it has now become so dark and twisted and tortuous and insane that it's beyond all recognition. You don't recognize there is a wounded child in there. You see it as pure demonic evil. And it has become that way. It has become that way because it is not, it doesn't exist in acknowledgement. It isn't seen, it isn't recognized. So it can be dealt with. No. It exists over there and everybody ignores it, ignores it, ignores it, ignores it. You see? And it has become the left-brained world, which is a horrible, nightmarish panopticon of streets and motorways and houses. Increasingly more and more houses. Less and less fields. Everything that is innocent and pure is hated, is attacked, is, what's the word? You know, it eats that. It eats that. It's devoured. And I reckon the reason for that is because evil recognizes itself in the pure and in the innocent, believe it or not. Because ultimately, when you go into the heart of it, evil is like, you can liken it to a lost child in the woods. Mummy doesn't love me, I have been abandoned, ergo I must be worthless. I am all alone. I need to protect myself. I have nothing, I must take from something else, and so forth and so on. Now that's truly spiraled out of all control, but that is the fall, that again, that's another aspect of the greatest wound, the deepest wound. Of course, it's going to be studiously ignored. Oh no, can't go there, mustn't look at that, mustn't look at that. Now, what they do to us in society, for example, society, fucking hell. There's a film that was done in the 80s, let me have a look. It's very sick, but it's actually quite apt, and it's called Society. Right? You call them movies in America, you don't call them films. It's 1989. That's it. Society, horror, mystery. Well, there's no mystery to it at all. Actually, it's plain and obvious. It's called Society. It was done in 1989. It's a very interesting film. You need a strong stomach for it, though. So I would suggest don't do it whilst you're having dinner. Right. So I had to make some notes because lately my cognitive function has just been like, I don't know, like I've been hit over the head with a baseball bat several times and I'm a bit fuzzy. Like yesterday, how I got lost, I have no idea, because right, I was on the path and I was walking, but then I decided to go off the path, just a bit like Little Red Riding Hood, you know, and off the path, and then I did a U-turn, I went around, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, I totally lost my bearings. And it's kind of like that with us, isn't it? Because there are times of great clarity where we have our bearings and we understand certain principles. We understand and we're in the flow, and it's yes. We know, we feel the connection, the communion with the Great Spirit, and we know that all is as it must be. And we have that trust, that innate faith. It isn't blind faith either. It is faith that's been proven. And it's not faith in the external, but it's faith in ourselves, ultimately. You see, in our own power, in our own magic, in our own infinity, in our own creativity, in our own love and everything that we truly are. Because we're able to tap into that. So that's when we're on the path, and it's like, yeah, I know where I am and I know what's happening and I can walk this path, it's good, all shall be well. And then all of a sudden, boom, you go into the purge, or whatever you want to call it, and all the lights go out and it's dark and you haven't got a fucking clue where you are. You're just lost. And you're in it. And it's truly fucking bad news when you're there, I know. This happens to me all the time. This is what the healing process is. This is what reset is all about, right? This is a realm of insanity, and the most insane amongst us are the rulers of these worlds. I say worlds because, just a minute guys, I'm just cooking some chicken for the cats. Hi Bruce. Hello. Do you want to say hello? Come here. I know, well, I just... See, now, this is Bruce. Bruce? Oh, he's not... No, he's my neighbour's cat, but he comes and visits. Probably because he likes snacks. You alright there, Bruce? You are a good boy, aren't you? Yeah, you are. You're lovely. You can have a little snack. You can, a bit later on. Because you've already had snacks this morning. Got to be careful with that, you see, because your neighbour might say, well, you're trying to steal my cat, and they're bribing him with snacks, which, no, I'm not doing that, but, you know, I just can't help myself. All the cats know me, and they all come to me. Anyway, where was I at? I'm going to just close the window. Sorry, guys, a bit rambly today, isn't it? Oh, son. Okay. Oh, yes, I know you are a bit fat, aren't you? Oh, just a bit. Here, there you go. Okay, you can have some snacks in a bit. He's a wonderful boy. Anyway, yeah, you know, ever since I did that video, the black hole, this has been happening to me, where I'm really becoming acutely aware of how this works. And, the insane ones, you know, the Henry Kissingers and the Bushes and the Clintons and the this and that and the U and the R, yeah, they're just like this human facade, but they're not human. There are human minions, but this is far bigger, of course it is. And there are many signs in the skies, and there are many portals to other worlds, and this is a multiverse, people, and it's big, it's very big. This is very big, isn't it, Looms? Yes, it is. Oh, you sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. You are. Look. Many of us have anomalous experiences, as it were, that show us the true nature of this place, and that show us beyond the shadow of a doubt that it isn't real as such. It's a virtual place, and I don't mean this in a literally virtual, as in, it's a computer simulation. I don't mean that at all. Computers are things of this world, but it is like that. And evil is an insanity, and it is based on a misconception, a misunderstanding of abandonment and rejection. If you take it all the way back to its inception. But that's what I feel anyway. Now, it's all about a feeling of not being wanted, not being loved, but rather being rejected, being abandoned, being found just not good enough, not acceptable, worthless, so worthless you don't deserve to exist. So we live in this society, this insane asylum, where those who are the most insane are running the show. And one thing that's really come to me that I find this happens all the time. You know these ads on TV? You get them in America a lot. For painkillers and colds and flu type of remedies, you know, like Lamsip. Absolutely disgusting. I'd rather drink a fucking jug of cat piss, but there you go. And they never work either, you know. And it's like, oh, you know, even if you're on death's door, you know, you can still get up and go to work if you just take these pills, right? And it's like, wow, How fucked up is that? And it always shows these really happy people. First of all, you see them in a terrible state, you know, it's like, and then you see them drinking the Lemsip or taking the pills, and the next thing is this frame where you see them behind a computer smiling, being all happy because, oh, they're at work, yeah. And which is just, oh, this again, that's the Coca-Cola ad, people, you know, so you fucking like us, why the fuck would you want to be at work? You know, you wouldn't want to be there under any circumstances, but especially when you're really not well, right? In society, in the insane asylum, in the Matrix, we are rewarded in a way. Well, we're given the illusion of receiving a reward for abandoning ourselves on a regular fucking basis, people. Right? So when you feel awful, when you're very depressed, when you're anxious, when you're physically ill and unwell, when there is shit going down in your life that requires your attention, especially when you feel like shit though, mentally, emotionally, physically, as is wont to happen when you're in the awakening, because, you know, that's just part of the course. You know, it's like, well, but I got my shit together and I went to work anyway, or I got my shit together and I did all the things I needed to do and more, or I got my shit together and I was I was at this council meeting and I helped all my neighbors and I fed the whole of Africa and eradicated world hunger, and I did all of that even though I was feeling like absolute shit, right? And then you get that feeling, that click, that little, it's like there's a little pill dispenser in your brain that goes, oh, click, and you get that bit of dopamine. That's your reward, you see. It's that bit of dopamine saying, oh, haven't you been good then? You've been a good slave and you've ignored everything that's going on inside you. You have effectively divorced yourself and abandoned yourself and walked away from yourself in favor of pleasing the external, i.e. feeding the fucking matrix, right? Because what we're really supposed to be doing, when we feel like absolute shit, we're supposed to go inwards, we're supposed to turn inwards, supposed to really go and be with ourselves in a loving, supportive, present manner. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? I don't want to feel this. It feels bad. I choose to feel it because it is meaningful and it's going to show me things, and I love myself and I need my self-love right now. My God, right? It's crazy. So instead we become very passive-aggressive because it's like, well, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to go inward. You're supposed to just ignore everything you're feeling and everything that you're going through and all your suffering and all your struggles. You're supposed to ignore all of that. Fuck you. And go and sort this out and go and help so-and-so and be all things to all people. This is it, you know. And, yeah. You know, and go to work and work hard and do this and finish that project, yeah, because that is self-discipline, that's what it is, and it is a good thing, and it's not a good thing, actually. It's fucking evil. It reinforces trauma in a massive way, and that is exactly why it is this way. Why do you think, right, the whole women's lib movement was all about getting women into the workplace, away from their children, right? They want people to work all hours God sends. People are working all hours God sends. Without a doubt, because everything is so expensive now, and yet people's wages have not really gone up. People don't earn a shitload of money at all. So people are having to work and work and work and work and work. Right? Children have parents that are never there. So children learn at a very early age that you're supposed to ignore yourself. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling, whatever is going on within you is of absolutely no importance. You must repress it. You must not look at it. Ignore that elephant in the living room. Focus external. How do you get your gratification? How do you get that little click of dopamine and feel good shit going on? By pleasing other people. That is what it's all about, yeah? It's all about pleasing other people. Charming, be nice, be kind. Be a puppet on the string, right? Because that is how you stay safe. That's how you stay safe. You have to stay safe. Being true to yourself means not being safe, because society won't like it. Society won't like it. They'll retaliate, they'll get angry. You phone your boss, you tell them, sorry, can't come to work, feel like shit. We'll take some pills. Well, I'm not going to take any pills. I need to be with myself now because I love myself and I want to nurture myself and hold myself and work through this. Because there's gold for me here, there are pearls for me here, so that's what I want to do. Yeah, but he'll sack you, you'll lose your job, and then what will you do? Then what will you do? Fear, 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 fear. See, the greatest motivator of it all behind the left brain insane asylum we live in is fear. But people don't realise that, you see, because they get the dopamine click. But I feel so good when I'm being that way. I feel so good when I totally abandon myself in favour of giving to everything and everybody else and being this hard-working person. Look at me, look at me. It's all this virtue signalling business, you know, which makes people feel safe. The dopamine click. You're not safe. Because you've abandoned yourself. You divorced yourself. You're not paying any fucking attention to what is going on within you. You're not safe. It will make you sick and it will fucking destroy you. You are not safe and you're living that way, people. You already know that, don't you? Because here we are, confronting all of that, feeling all of that, being aware of all of that and seeing... Right, Looms? Yeah, if I do that though, you'll want to come down again in 5 minutes, won't you? Okay, go on then. I think you forget. Because you're quite old. Bless you. They're so old, like 20 now. Bless them. It really is, it's just utterly disgusting. It's so utterly disgusting the way we have been manipulated to behave against ourselves, right? It's always to serve the collective, what's good for the collective. But you see, the collective is made up of individuals. And if each and every individual treats him and herself like absolute shit, all those needs unmet within you, completely and utterly ignored. I mean, it's appalling, right? Half of life, see, that's it. That's a good little Facebook post I came across. Half of life is lost in charming others. The other half is lost going through anxieties caused by others. Leave this play, you have played enough. It's true. When you stop, right, when you really, really stop and just allow yourself to get fucking honest and real, you will realise how terrified you are of people. We've been made to be absolutely terrified of each other. We are. And that's the truth. People hurt each other mercilessly. Wounded people wound people. This is the truth. We hurt each other, we hurt ourselves because we abandon ourselves, because we, well, in favour of tending to myself, loving myself, being there for myself, listening, tuning in, being present with myself. What do you want to tell me? What is going on? Just to really be with yourself, but also be very, very honest with yourself. Don't allow yourself to you know, deceive. Oh, it's like this, and oh, it's not, I know, you know, because a lot of people are very, very good at self-deception, and that cannot be allowed. There is self-discipline there. That is true self-discipline, is do not allow yourself to go get away with any shit. Self-deception. Oh, I didn't, you know, not owning your shit. No, that can't be allowed. That is important. But you see, why do you think that behaviour and those ways of thinking are there in the first place? They're there because we are so used to not taking any kind of responsibility. We are so used to not owning our shit. We are so used to not acknowledging, not feeling, not even being aware of ourselves at all. See? Complete self-abandonment leads to complete self-unawareness, all subconscious nastiness, the shadow, the fake persona, all of that. Putrid insanity, the insane world, yeah. Passive aggression, narcissism, all kinds of isms and schisms and God knows what else. It fucked up people. See, so all of that has got to be, oh, get it now, I get it now, I get it now, yeah. And that ain't enough. Then we have to start changing our behaviour, which means feeling the fear and doing it anyway, taking affirmative steps in the right direction, which is the exact opposite. We've been going that way, now we're going that way, or rather that way. Yeah. Because we need to turn inwards, people. That is where it's all at. The Matrix doesn't want us to turn inwards. Vertigo doesn't want us to turn inwards. The dark passenger, the dark generator, the hell contagion does not want us to go inward. Because that is where it hides. It lives there, the hell contagion. And it wants to stay in the driver's seat of the proverbial car. It wants to stay in control. It wants to create reality. You see? It loves the insanity. But really, ultimately, all it ever wanted was to be loved and to be safe. Now, I know that doesn't make any sense and it might seem paradoxical, and it is, but that is what I was shown. So, ultimately, love, and the consciousness of love, infinite love, and infinite creativity is the Holy Grail. That's what it was always about. And it is coming full circle. It is coming full circle. The greatest storm is raging. It's going to rage for some time yet. And there's going to be days where you feel much lighter. These last few days I've been feeling a lot lighter. And oh wow, the gratitude. It's like crying with gratitude because it's been so dark. So dark. But worth it. Because the clarity does come back. The insights, the understanding of this place and what it is, the keys. You see? So it truly is. See how when you're busy, ignoring yourself, divorcing yourself, abandoning yourself, turning away from yourself in favor of pleasing the external and feeding the matrix, right? How the fuck can truth emerge? For truth lies at home. It is here. It is right there. It's right next to that great big dark elephant in the living room. It's this beautiful chest. Imagine this incredible embellished chest, like a pirate's treasure found in a cave. It is like that. That is you. That is truth. That's your ancestral heritage as well, by the way. Because everything was taken from us people. Not just from the native people. We are all native people of one kind or another, right? My ancestors were Scandinavian, Norwegian, Swedish, Danish and German. Mostly German. Where horrific things happen, because there's evidence to suggest this. Wholesale slaughter of the wise people, of our sacred groves and trees, etc., etc. This is what they do. They attack that which sustains us. They attack everything that talks to us about childlike innocence and purity. They attack everything that makes us strong. They attack everything that tells us to go within, right? To trust ourselves. They attack everything that we are in communion with. The Great Mother, anything that makes us strong. Our true self, our strength, everything that would ascertain our complete healing and the death of Wetiko, they will attack. Of course, because Wetiko has been in the driver's seat and it wants to live, so it needs dysfunction and it needs distortion and it needs self-hate and self-abandonment. So it would kill all the druids and all the wise women. It would kill all the wholesome, natural knowings, right? Of course it hates, the Aboriginal people of Australia, who are very old and who have a shitload of wisdom that they still keep alive in their songs, in their dream time. It would hate the Maori people. It would hate the Native American people. It even hates the Sami, the last indigenous people of the Caucasian race. A lot of them still live the old way. They still adhere to shamanism. They gave us Christianity, which put pay to it all. It told us we were sinful and it told us we were bad and we had to totally cut ourselves off from ourselves and go. And, we know all of that. I don't even need to go into that, man. It's pure evil. And, here's the thing. It all has to be seen and understood, and once you see it and you understand the scale of it and the magnitude of it as well, and all the different nuances, how our psyche has been totally eviscerated. Wow. Once you get that, you have to feel it. You have to feel that fallout, the hatred that you feel, all of it, because it is the hell contagion. You feel that way against the enemy for having done this to you. But when it remains in your being unresolved, you become the enemy. You see? Evil has been done to you, trauma is the gateway, so you become in turn also an evil doer. It is a chain reaction, and that is how evil works, you see, now. So, it cannot be left in the subconscious, ergo it is here now, it is on the table, and we can see clearly what has been done here. And we will see it more clearly in the near future, because I keep getting this as well, and this is also in my book. This is also a Bible verse, which I do apologize, I'm not a Christian. It needs to be said, but I will take it. It comes to me. It just comes to me, you know. And so what can I do? The Bible verse that keeps coming to me is Luke 8. 17, and it says, "For nothing is secret that will not be revealed, nor anything hidden that will not be known and come to light." You see, so there we are. This keeps coming to me. When I started out on this journey many years ago, the first thing that came to me in a synchronicity in a massive big way was, all shall be revealed. And to that end, this is happening now. But as it's being revealed, it is the most painful thing, people. So we have to acknowledge it, we have to be with it, we have to, because they tell us, well, you know, they massacred your people, they raped, they pillaged, they mind controlled you, they said this to you, they said that to you, they made you treat yourself like absolute shit. They have, look at the state you're all in, and all of that has to be felt. We have to feel the hate and we have to feel the rage. When they tell you you shouldn't feel that way, nice people don't have those feelings. Well, it's like, fuck off. We have to feel it all. Oh, son, I did say this, didn't I? I said 5 minutes and you're going to come down again. Goodness me. Right, baby. You're an absolute angel. You are. You're so beautiful. You see, we have to feel all the feelings that they told us we're not allowed to feel, because it means we're bad people. We're not bad people at all. These feelings have to be felt, they have to be processed, they have to be alchemized. And then we get to a stage of, I would call it forgiveness, but it's not really that way, actually. It's not really a great word, and that word tends to agitate people a lot, because it's like, what's happened here is unforgivable. Well, to an extent that's true, but you see, in the reset, we will go all the way back to the inception point, the fall, and all the way forward. All darkness, all trauma has to be eradicated once and for all, you see, because otherwise it will just stay alive and it will happen again. So, but there is a point where we come to terms with it, in the sense that there is a sense of wholeness, a sense of peace, of truly coming home to ourselves, and an understanding of what evil is, how it came to be in the first place. And there is compassion there, people. Because the fear is gone, because we understand that the power lay within us all along. You see, it doesn't feel that way right now. I don't feel that way, but something tells me this is true. When the fear is gone, we will be free. There is so much trauma and woundedness and distortion within us that needs to be cleared. And this is why we have all these physical symptoms, people. Another physical symptom is teeth. Your teeth hurt, your gums hurt. It's very common. You know, it sets my teeth on edge, or I find this gut wrenching. You know, we have all these sayings floating around that show us very well that this is very, very physical. You know, we have all these physical symptoms all the time, and it is appalling. And thank you all for these wonderful comments talking about your own experiences. You know, this is what I want this channel to be. I want this to be a little platform for people to be able to come to and share with each other in a wholesome sense. And I find that generally it is that way. There is no nastiness or any kind of bullshit going on. You know, I think you're bloody good people for the most part, and you leave really good comments. And you know, to any new subscribers as well, by the way, welcome. And it's good to have you here, and I hope you get something out of it. You know, and keep going inwards, people. Right? Don't feed the matrix. Feel the fear, but take affirmative action in the opposite direction. It is very hard. It's behavioral. Cognitive behavioral therapy. DIY is what this is, right? DIY, cognitive behavioral therapy. We have been walking in the wrong direction our entire life. They made us do it. We now have to make this choice to go in the opposite direction. Heyoka. Go in the opposite direction. Do right brain, fuck left brain. It's bullshit and it's a lie, and it just wants you to walk away from yourself, to stay in a divorced state. We cannot do that. We are going home to ourselves. We are going to face these incredibly difficult emotions. We're going to feel them. We're going to run with these insane, crazy, distorted thoughts, intrusive thoughts. You name it, intrusive thoughts. That's another one. Weird, you know, symptom that you might get. Weird thoughts, and you're like, oh, I didn't just think that. Like, throw your cat in the water. It's like, no, I didn't think that. It's like possession, you know what I mean? And it is a possession, it's a contagion. So again, learn to say that is not me, and let it go. But there's always the emotional cascades. This is a big thing. This is a massive cleanup operation, people. So one thing to know is you're all doing a fantastic job. You truly are. It wants you to think this. It does this as well. It tells you that you're evil, that you're bad, and that you're insane, and ooh, you're just as bad as this, and just as bad as you're so bad, guilty. Right? Believe me, if you knew the full extent of, say, Lizzie the Lizard, Queen of England, that bunny boiler, or that Buckingham Palace, for example, right? You would know that you're a fucking saint. Believe me, you really are. You're like, I don't know, fucking God. We're so pure, us soul travelers, you know. The fact that we're a bit fucked up and wonky and that we have issues is not an indication of how shitty we are at all. It's an indication of how sensitive and pure we are, because this place has done a number on us. If we were bad, it would not have been able to do a number on us. It would have been a perfect match, and we'd have been happy as Larry, right? There you go. So you're beautiful, you are pure, you are childlike, you are precious, and despite being childlike, you are actually supremely powerful, because true power is the power and the magic of love. It is pure and it is innocent, but it is not stupid at all. See? When you start coming home to yourself and you stop being a people pleaser, because that is fear. If I keep everybody happy, I'll be safe. It's not true, by the way. People will think you're a doormat and they will take advantage. You're anything but safe. And you have strong boundaries. Learn to say no, and learn that you do not have to be nice and kind to everybody. You're actually in a far stronger position. But again, it's counterintuitive. You don't get the dopamine click, do you? But that is where your truth is, you see. That is where your truth is. Your truth and your freedom and your well-being is ultimately in going the opposite direction, people. That's what we need to do. It means to live from love rather than to live from fear. Fear has been our main motivator our entire fucking life. It's very ingrained and it's very insidious, and it's incredibly difficult to reset cognitively, behaviorally, that. So baby steps, right? And be aware of this real tendency we all have to be so mercilessly hard on ourselves, because we're going to get it wrong a lot, right? When you decide to do something in a completely different way, counterintuitive way, where you don't get the dopamine click, the whole of society is like, you can't do that, that's wrong, you're supposed to go to work even if, you know, you're on your fucking knees in agony, you take some pills and you go to work. But you say, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to stay home, I'm going to phone up and I'm going to say I'm not well and I'm not going to come to work. It's going to be uncomfortable, you're going to feel fear a lot, because you're doing everything in the opposite direction now. And that's gonna frighten you, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable. So at first it's like, well, this doesn't feel rewarding. I'm not getting the dopamine click. This can't be right. This is not gonna work out. I don't feel safe. You see, so it's not gonna feel good. That's when you're in the heat of it, and you need to stick with it. You need to keep following through on that. And every time you get it wrong and you go back to the old way, you need to accept yourself, forgive yourself, and get back to the right way. Go back to doing things the way that, you know, yeah. And keep loving yourself and keep supporting yourself in this, knowing that this is a very, very difficult thing, because it feels wrong even though it is right. The old way felt right because you had the dopamine click, but it was always wrong. See? It was total self-betrayal and self-annihilation, people. Going back to self-love, self-support, self-nurturing feels wrong, because it is how you've not been your entire life. Right. So I think I'll call it a day there. Hope you all have a really good weekend, and I will leave off doing videos for a while now. It feels right. Let you all catch up. And you know, just be lovely to yourselves, people, because, you know, we're all doing a really, really good job. We really are, and we are all really, really precious. We truly are. And magic and miracles are very, very real. All this mundane reality bullshit, that's all mind control. It's a lie. You know, they try so hard to ram it down our throats only because there is something powerful here that needs to be subdued. They need to spend just a minute, Looms. They need to spend an inordinate amount of time pushing that down, because it is so powerful. You see? I know you could argue, well, how did this happen in the first place then? But we'll get to that at some time in the future. We are powerful, magical beings, people. This is a great time for discovering exactly that. All my love to all of you.